Grief. Grief has its grandeur. Weeping has its sweep. But penury and niggardliness of spirit, that is true damnation. Hurled into this world, we all are, given no choice, no option as to our family, our country, our creed, our intelligence, our face, physique, or whether we even wanted to be born at all. We are but stones tossed upon the tide, to sink, to skim, to buttress an underwater kingdom, or consort with sea urchins. Who knows what our fate will hold? As we grow, we attempt to reconcile ourselves to such fateful dispensations, either facing them with stern, implacable acceptance, or deluding ourselves. And there is some higher plan, carefully provided for by an all-loving, all-wise, almighty ruler, hidden behind the deceptive, confusing outer fabric we call reality. If you're lucky and are not struck down prematurely by some thunderbolt or other, or thwarted by the extreme malignancy of circumstances, you begin to carve out small dominion upon this otherwise vexed and perplexing planet. We straddle a countless cares, the stray sunbeam, here or there, dousing our ferocious, incipient fever of incomprehension with the sleek, refreshing, wet flannel of facts and logic, and again, if we're lucky, adding a spoonful of sweet honey, soothing for our sensitive tonsils, to the pot of cold, lumpy porridge we are given to imbibe. Like oysters, we begin to nurture, concealed deep within our souls, a little precious pearl of satisfaction amongst all the salty sorrow and the invariably invariably sorrowful surroundings that often seems to drown us like an ocean of despair. Sometimes we even forget about this encompassing infinity of woe altogether. And almost immediately, we begin to lose ourselves, our compass, our bearing. So that as we amble nonchalantly and haughtily towards our next adventure, we end up tripping over a rock and hurtling headfirst, promptly breaking our necks. And then our skulls are diligently trodden in by our rescuers. Before we know it, we're reduced to a tiny fraction of the much resented meagre portion which first granted us. Which suddenly, in retrospect, seems so very abundant, luscious, Edenic. Like a cynosure of perfection. It calls out to us over the misty, miserly and beleaguered years we have known, beckoning us mournfully into its all-salving, but now irretrievably lost embrace. How we lean towards it, like a forsaken plant, towards a distant, gleaming star. How we lovingly coo over it, like the mother of a lost, sweet child. Lift our hands imploringly to it, as if we ourselves were beggars, or toast to it like an old comrade in arms. How we bargain with it like thieves before the jury, get down on our knees and pray to it, like pilgrims, attempt to coax from it its hardened, husky shell of passing years. But alas, to no avail. On our lips, thenceforth forever, the echo, the enraged refrain, never, never. Yes, true damnation, true hell. If only we had tended our sorrow earlier, if only we had sown the seeds in the harsh, melancholy fields of our youth, ploughed them with all our strength, with all our bitter, fiercely loving, dolorous, rueful tears. How strong we would have been then. How we would have avoided all the hiccups and setbacks, such as that little pebble over which we tumbled and cracked open our pitiless callous skulls, spewing our brains across the most beautiful Persian rug in existence. But no, it wasn't to be. Instead of sowing seeds, we popped pills. Instead of plowing our fields, we abraded our loins. Instead of tending our crop, we scattered salt in our own wounds. So now we must reconcile ourselves not only to the life that we did not choose originally, hard task in itself, but also to the loss of that original life. which now seems so idyllic in comparison with the barren leftovers in its wake. Grief has its grandeur, weeping has its sweep, indeed, but we are left only with blandness. Only with the blunt, brutish, rude apathy and ennui. How I long to expire, to fade away, imperceptibly into nothingness. To make a quiet, discreet exit from this terrible, ignominious scene has become my life. If you want to turn a life into such a scene, then turn them over to the doctors, my friends. If you want to make someone beg for sheer mercy and relief from what is being done to them, get your white coats on, get your needle out, and start injecting away. Poison the heart forever.